Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into something truly mind-blowing. We're exploring a massive digital nervous system that is literally bridging the physical world with the digital one. In this explainer, we're going to break down the anatomy of the Internet of Things, or IoT as you probably know it. We'll look at the sensors, the architecture, and how 5G connectivity is absolutely supercharging the whole shebang. To really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this, I want you to think about the number 20 billion. Right now, there are over 9 billion connected physical objects, the things in the Internet of Things, already online. But thanks to some crazy rapid advancements in networking and embedded electronics, that number is projected to skyrocket to a whopping 20 billion very soon. It's wild to think about, but we are basically surrounding ourselves with this invisible, ever-present web of data collection. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with a quick welcome to the IoT, then move through the 4 essential building blocks, the 3 layers of IoT architecture, how the 5G network acts as a major catalyst, and finally, wrap up with some real-world healthcare and industrial applications. Let's get into it. Starting off with Section 1. Welcome to the IoT. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is the Internet of Things, technically speaking? Well, it's essentially the networking of physical objects that have embedded electronics inside them. This allows them to communicate and sense interactions, either with each other or with the outside environment. Think about everyday objects, from that smart thermostat sitting in your hallway to a massive, complex industrial robot on a factory floor. They are now IP-enabled, which means they actually have their very own internet addresses. They're smart, and they're talking to each other seamlessly over networks completely behind the scenes, without needing any human-to-human or human-to-computer hand-holding. A really great way to visualize this is through a biological analogy. Imagine the Internet of Things is a human body. In this scenario, the physical sensors are like our eyes and ears, constantly taking in stimuli from the world around them. Then, the network layer acts just like our nervous system, instantly transmitting those signals. And finally, the cloud or edge processors, they act as the brain. They take in that massive influx of data, evaluate it, and make real-time decisions.
All right, moving right along to Section 2, the 4 building blocks.
When you look under the hood, IoT components rely on a pretty strict hierarchy. Basically, data flows from the bottom up. It starts way down at the bottom with the physical environment and sensors, moves up through processors and gateways, and eventually arrives right at the top, at the applications and the user interface. Down at that bottom level, the sensors are absolutely the front lines. Honestly, they're the true things in the Internet of Things. Whether we're talking about a gas sensor, a water quality monitor, or a moisture detector, their one and only job is to continuously grab real-world, analog metrics from their surroundings. They do the heavy lifting of sensing so that processors can then extract that as digital, actionable information. Let's actually trace this flow. Imagine a drop of water on a smart farm going through this 4-step journey. Step 1 is sensing. A moisture sensor in the ground detects that the soil is getting dry. Step 2, transmission. It immediately sends that data out via Wi-Fi. Step 3 is processing. A cloud server receives the data and decides, hey, these crops need water. And finally, Step 4, action. The system automatically fires up the sprinklers. It's like magic, but it's really just great engineering. Okay, on to Section 3. 3 layers of IoT. Now, as you can guess, IoT architecture is incredibly complex, and there are a lot of different setups out there. But to make it digestible, experts often simplify it into this foundational 3-layered architecture: the perception layer, the network layer, and the application layer. Breaking it down like this just makes it so much easier to see how data flows, and, perhaps more importantly, where the security vulnerabilities might be hiding. Let's quickly break those down. First, the perception layer. This is all about object recognition and data collection. It's what actually captures those physical signals. Next, the network layer takes the baton, securely routing that data using protocols you know, like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or 3G. Though, a quick side note here, this network layer is actually highly vulnerable to things like denial of service attacks. That's where malicious actors overload the traffic, basically locking authorized users out of their own devices. Quite a headache. Finally, we hit the application layer. This is the part that analyzes all that info to deliver a specific service to the user, like the dashboard on your smart home app or a monitoring screen in a factory. Which brings us to Section 4, the 5G network catalyst. So if IoT is our digital nervous system, 5G is literally the ultimate evolutionary upgrade. It completely blows past 4G by essentially eliminating network traffic jams. We're talking about massive, massive numbers of devices communicating simultaneously without breaking a sweat. Plus, latency, or lag, drops down to mere milliseconds. That means a self-driving car or an automated factory robot can make near instantaneous, potentially life-saving decisions with rock-solid reliability. But here's something really cool. 5G also solves a massive energy problem. Because it handles these small data packets so efficiently and zips them across the network in a flash, it drastically cuts down on how long a device actually has to stay awake to transmit. So, to put that in perspective, a remote agricultural sensor planted way out in a massive field can now literally survive for years on a single battery charge. It's a total game changer. Let's wrap things up with Section 5, Healthcare and Industrial Applications. We really need to draw a sharp line between consumer IoT and industrial IoT, or IoT for short. Consumer IoT is mostly about convenience. Things like your smart speaker or your home thermostat. If your smart speaker loses Wi-Fi, yeah, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Industrial IoT, on the other hand, is mission critical. These systems have to survive extreme heat, freezing cold, dust, heavy vibrations, and they have to run 24/7 without a hiccup. A network failure here doesn't just mean your music stops. It could delay production, destroy expensive equipment, or seriously compromise worker safety. In fact, to give you an idea of the stakes, McKinsey & Company found that predictive maintenance, which is enabled by these connected sensors, can reduce maintenance costs by up to 40%. So IIoT isn't just about having cool connectivity for the sake of it. It's about seamlessly integrating with existing operational tech to turn raw machine data into massive financial savings. It literally predicts and prevents dangerous equipment failures before they ever have a chance to happen. But let's zoom all the way down from those massive, noisy factory floors to a single human being. Welcome to the Internet of Medical Things. Today, wearable sensors can continuously monitor a patient's vital signs, things like heart rate, blood oxygen saturation, and even real-time ECGs. These sensors securely bounce this data via Bluetooth Low Energy to a mobile gateway, like a smartphone, which then shoots it straight up to the cloud. Once there, real-time analytics can instantly alert doctors to any dangerous physiological changes. It empowers continuous remote monitoring, which means we can prevent emergencies before they happen and allow patients to recover safely at home rather than being stuck in a hospital bed. So, from tracking the exact temperature of a massive industrial engine to monitoring the rhythm of a human heart from miles and miles away, the IoT is fundamentally changing our reality. With 20 billion sensors constantly reading, analyzing, and reacting to our physical world, how will the Internet of Things continue to redefine the boundary between human and machine? Well, that is the ultimate question we're all going to be answering together over the next decade. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.